Today we're gonna start with a machine called VulnOS, which is a vulnerable machine of the VulnHub machine. So let's see over here. So let's look for the IP number, which is in the discover -I TTO -R, and we have the IP address, which is over 105. So this is interface of the machine. VulnOS are the series of vulnerable operating system backed by virtual images to enhance penetration testing skills. This is a vulnerable server. Yeah, that's cool. Pen testing the company website over here. Get the root and the system and read the final flag. So we have given a task. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go to the website. Okay, before the website, I'm going to scan the entire network. So as we always do, because we need to find the services and the version which is running the backend. So small s capital C, small s capital V, icon P4, and the IP address. So our major objective is to find the services and the version which is running in the specific backend server. And we're going to look for one by one all the things. So as per the data which I can see over here, there's the port SSH which is open over there, and the port 80 which is by defaultly our Apache server. And what we have, the SS protocol is running RSA, which is a public and private key. Okay, and we have port 80. So let's see if we can find any relevant data with the help of Nicto. Nicto-H. So through the Nicto, we're gonna look for all the possibilities one by one on the server side. So you can see there's now there an Apache of 2.4.7 appears to be outdated. Server may leak innerts by e-tags. Okay, allowed HTTP method. We can see post option and get. If we talk about the option over here, allow the HTTP option methods. Option methods are basically give you the what you can say through the option method we can identify which are the applications are enabled through the client side. Means the get request, the post request, the head request. These are the methods that we can follow. For example, we can try our burp suite to identify if we can find any relevant data for that one. So I'm going to use my burp. Certificate, and the network part. So over here, I'm gonna identify if you can have any option available through the option method. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna intercept the packet and reset. So over here you can see the get option. So I'm gonna go to the repeater, drop the packet, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna examine this one by one. So over here. So this is a get head. header. So the data which is transferred from the URL section. So over here, attacker try options over there. Through the options, we can find what are the available applications or the methods that we can follow. For example, options, and you can see 200 over here. Through the server side, we can see the server is running Drupal 7. Apache 2.4.7, PHP version is this. But our major concern, we're going to check for what are the available options over here one by one. Okay, so I didn't find any relevant data according to the options header. So let's search for the Google. This is not the thing which I was looking for. 7 security response headers that every security tester should know. Content policy, access protection. You can see they have given access protection over here. So what does it mean? Access protection response header is designed to protect the application from the cross-site scripting. It instructs the browser to enable the cross-site scripting filter which are built in the modern web browser. See, X-frame options, content type options, access control origins, public key pins, option header, and that's it. So you can see all the things one by one over here. But I didn't find any relevant data. So for that case, we're gonna try to something else. So over here, we can see we have a proper website which is given over here. For example, welcome to the Jacobs. They have given normal things. So as per the, we can try the secure analysis. We're gonna try Durbuster. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna try to crawl the entire directory, the number of threads, the word list that we're gonna use over here, user share word list, Durbuster, and we know the service is PHP. So let's try. So in the back end, you can see they are looking for all the things one by one. You can see there are lots of data over there in the back end. In the Jacob docs, there are lots of files on the server side. You can see the content type. Jacob docs. You can see there are themes, there are normal things, there are lots of other things that you can see one by one. But our major concern would be how we can check all these things one by one. There are themes, miscellaneous model scripts, profiles, minimal, standards, The main objective of the crawling part is to identify if we can find any sensitive information through the word express. So you can see one by one, it's gonna check all the entire directory, and we can see there is an icon directory which is 403 forbidden over there. We can see cron.php. What is this? 403 forbidden. Install.php. This is a templates directory. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna try to check one by one all the possibilities over here. So in the back end, I can see there are lots of files. So our major concern would be how we're gonna manage all the things one by one. Remember one thing, Burp Suite and Burp Suite will be handy for you guys. And you can look for one by one all the things over here. So I didn't find the relevant data as per my crawling part. And the scan is almost done. It's almost done over here. Done, so stop. So, but still we didn't find any relevant data on server side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for the data if you can find over here. First of all, examine the website. Let's do about, it's a normal default page. Over here we have some default categories. And we have documentation. Okay, in the documentation we have nothing. So let's talk about the source code review. So the biggest security issue. If you talk about the OWASP top 10, look, they have given the OWASP top 10 and mid-3 top 25 include list of common programming flow that leads to vulnerabilities and exploit in softwares. These lists are reviewed periodically by the industry, and they basically are on your PCDIS, payment card industry. Our security code review will focus on the worst of 10, and you can see the applications that are vulnerable: injection, memory flow, sensitive data exposure, and your process scripting and program access control. The basic secure coding practices. One of the goals of the regular code review is to spot missing best practices. Code reviews about to identify the missing secure coding practices. But our major concern is that we have to check one by one all the things in the backend process. For example, what could be the vulnerabilities over there? There you can see over here. Parameterized statement, memory save function, data encryptions, neutralization output, insecure direct object reference, which is your idle. They have given one by one all the things. So our major concern over here to be gonna look for all the possibilities one by one in the Jacob docs. I was talking about the source code. So we gonna look for the relevant data over here one by one. So documentation. Let's see what we can find. So we have a normal document type. It's a stable code over here. Some XML metacharacters. Script normal. You are here. So over here you can see for security reasons this section was hidden. Okay. They have okay, in the context clear text, clear fix. They have given something. So what we can see over here, for a detailed view and documentation of the product, please visit our website. Please visit our documentation platform at the Jacob Docs on the server and log in. So what I can see over here one by one, please visit our documentation platform, which is your Jacob Docs on the server, which is on your with the just login with a guest. Okay, we have a default credential given over here, and they have given you have to visit Jacob Docs. So let's try with this one. Jacob Docs, what we can get. So we can see that in the Jacob Docs, we have a login page which is open document. First of all, when you are information gathering, we have to look one by one all the things. So over here, open document, username. So what exactly open document means over here? Open document. So let's Google it. Before a tagging part, let's gather some information. So open document. Open document is a free web-based open source document management system, which is a DMS. Okay, document management system. Written in PHP, designed for completely iOS 70025 OEE for the document start. So what we can do over here, we can look for all the things over here one by one. So let's okay, it's a pop-up over here. Okay. So let's join with the guest user, with the user guest. Let's see. And one more thing, we can see Open Document 1.2.7. We have the version right now. So as per the networking part, if we find any relevant data with the security tools like your NSS and Expose, we can look for all the things one by one. So over here we can see 1.2.7, but I'm going to look at later on. Let's enter, and we are in. So what do we have over here? Open document. Okay. I did. Okay, I click on the log out button. Sorry. So we can see over here, no document are currently checked out over here. Search parameter, add document. What are these things? What is artificial intelligence? Aramaki JPG. Hey, what I can see over here, only one thing, that is a Jacob Docs details PHP ID is equal to. Okay, we have a parameter with the value. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with a yes. I simply put ID is equal to in a backslash, and I can see there is an error of the MySQL database on the server side. And what I have, select star from ODM user parameter where ODM user parameter is equal to 2 and ODM user parameter 2. You have an error in your SQL. Check their manual corresponding to your MySQL server version for the right syntax. Okay, we have a SQL error on the server side. As I can see, parameter is equal to 2, which is value side. Um, and we have an error on the server. So what we're gonna do over here, we're gonna try to check one by one all the possibilities. So my major concern would be, let's look for if we can find any vulnerabilities over here one by one. Let's put question mark. I can see the same error. Double quote, same error. So there is an error. But the error, look, but the error was on ODM user parameter. Okay, as per the open document 1.2.7, let's look for the vulnerabilities over there if we can find any exploit. Open document exploit DB. Open document 1.3.4 PHP exploit database, and we can see 1.2.7 is also there. So we can see it was on the year of 2014, and we're gonna look for. So let's look where the vulnerability is exactly. SQL injection in open document. Okay, as we have already identified that there was a vulnerability on the server side. That we already know that there is an SQL error. But over here, the vulnerability exists due to insufficient validation of add value. Okay. HTTP get parameter is ajax udf.php script. A remote or unauthenticated attacker can execute arbitrary SQL command in the application database. And over here, we can see this was a proper ajax.udf.php usable one add value. Yeah, so over here they are running union all select. Let's copy this one and let's try over here. So I simply run the server over here with the Jacob docs ajax udf q is equal to 1 add value with the union select statement. So I can see the version which is 5.5.4.7. So, and I can see through the version this reflecting that 5.2.4. Okay, let's write database over here. And the data, and we can see the database is Jacob docs. So my major concern, what we're gonna do over here, we can try the SQL map over here. So let's try with the SQL map, -u, the URL, and the URL was, I'm gonna only take the URL with the parameter value. That was ODM user. Why? Because this is the SQL statement in the left hand side, right hand side. And remember one thing: this is a string value, which is your ODM user. So we're gonna encapsulate with the double quote. And we're gonna use -dbs. Why dbs? Database certificate. We already know the database, but we're gonna try to look one by one. If we can find any other databases also. Yes. Injection not exploitable with the null values. Do you want to try the random integers? Yes, why not? Injection not acceptable with the null values with the union character. Okay. We have some errors. Okay. I'm gonna use hyphen level. I'm gonna increase the depth of the scan. So risk is equal to 3. So let's do some advanced scan. So we okay. So it's gonna take some time over here. Yes. Okay. So backend database MySQL. You can see over here the parameter add value. So let's try yes. Yes. The get parameter add value is vulnerable. Do you want to first? Yes. No. So over here we can see one by one all the things as get enumerated. So over here we can see some databases just like our Jacob Docs and other databases, Drupal, information schema, MySQL, performance schema, and PHP. Okay, in the server there's PHP is running. Nope. Let's try to extract Jacob Docs. With a capital D, with the Jacob blocks. -hyphen tables to enumerate. Let's try tables. You Okay, so we can see some users over there like the ODM admin, the ODM users. There are lots of things. So let's try with the ODM users with the capital T. -hyphen columns. So over here we can see some usernames like your department, some usernames and password. So let's select those things with the capital C. So I'm going to use username, comma, password. I'm going to use icon of window. So basically it's trying, you can see over here the query which is trying with the Boolean based explanation. No. Do you want to crack the dictionary? Yes, try with this one. Default one, yes. We have two hashes. One is your guest and one is your web menu. So over here we can see the hashes over here one by one, which is your guest. We already know about the guest one, but there is another user which is called your webmin. So let's try this one. Hash hyphen identifier. So this is an MD5 hash. We can see. So let's try hash killer. Let's try to crack the hash over here, and we can see the password that we have is called webmin98. So this was the password of your user webmail. Let's try to connect with this server. That would be SSH port. So SSH webmail at the IP address. Yes. And we are in. The major concern of this machine was to penetrate the servers with the help of SQL map or identify the loopholes. Okay. So what we can do, we can try to look one by one. So I'm gonna look for Python. Why? Because we're gonna need a bash user bin Python. Okay. So let's see our two important things, which is our milk and bad. Okay. Let's see this one. Hmm. So let's go search for Python, and I can see it here. Python. And we get the TTY. So, okay, so we are on the webin server. Let's see on the bash history. Home, VulnOS admin, ls, config. Okay, these are the basic commands they have run. We can see we have VulnOS also in different user and a webin. So can we run? Can we go to the VulnOS? Yes. So cd VulnOS permission denied. Okay. So let's check the kernel version, which is your VulnOS 3.0. So this specific machine is vulnerable to your kernel exploit. So what is the distribution type? We can check one by one. Let's check this one first. So the distribution version is 14.04, and over here we can see the kernel exploit. The kernel exploit is a program that leverages the kernel vulnerabilities in order to execute arbitrary code with evaluated permissions. So let's have a small look on this one. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to check one by one all the possibilities. So VulnOS. So let's see if we can find any relevant data to the kernel exploit. Uh, so it was Ubuntu 14.04 exploit. So over here we can see some exploit databases over here one by one. But the most important thing is to check the kernel version also, which is your 3.3.0. So Ubuntu version, and the version was this. Let's see over here. So we have the kernel version which is a 3.3.10 and the Ubuntu version which is a 14.04. So uname FNA, check the version, GCC compiler. That's it. And this is also C program etc. So let's download this one. So we're going to do Python, -m, simple, HTTP server with a port 8000. So we can see the 8000 port is running. So we can do temp, lsfnl, wget, HTTP, IP address, 10, which is my IP address, which is 110 with a port 8000, and a file name. The most important thing is a file name. So the file name was 37292.c. So we can see our file is over there. So we're going to use GCC, -o, we're going to name it Outlook, we're going to write exploit, and a file name. So we can see the exploit folder file has been created. Let's try to use this one. And over here we can see we got hash over there. So who am I? I'm root. Hello and welcome. You have successfully compromised the complete checkups and the server completely. So, but the major concern was how we're gonna do penetrate those things. Penetration testing is an important thing. You have to look one by one all the things over there. So our major concern is how we're gonna look. What is the major thing? So for this scenario, we're gonna try one by one all the possibilities with it. There are many ways that you can try a skill map. There are lots of techniques that you can follow. So this was a normal attack you can see over here.